Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Spring break is over. We are forging on. So last week, now I guess it's 2 weeks ago, we did uh, triangles in the coordinate plane. We did trapezoids or kites in the coordinate plane. And so what we're going to do starting now is we're skipping on to section 3, which is circles. And we're going to talk about if I had to graph a circle on a coordinate plane, what would it look like? How could I figure out the equation? And so let's get started. All right. So we are going to be, so maybe hopefully you have your notes here ready to go. Let me zoom in a little bit. And remember, big things, guys. Listen, if you don't understand something, you need to send me an email. I am hosting Zoom sessions, so maybe you need to jump on one of those Zoom sessions and ask me questions then. If something is going too fast, press pause on the video. Stop the video, watch it again. I'm going to explain things as well as I can, as best as I can. Okay, so there's that. And, if you do Pearson, like tonight we have Pearson homework. So if we do Pearson and it's difficult for you, then that's going to be something that you reach out to me as well. Okay. So same process follows every day. You'll take notes and you're not going to get points for taking notes. So in theory, I suppose you could just watch this video and, just stare at it and then do Pearson and you're good. But you got to turn in Pearson to me. And that's how you're earning your 2 points that I'm going to give you on your homework checks. And I'll be updating that every week because now with more frequency, I will get that done. I'm also going to be posting a calendar so you can see what the schedule is for the week. And I'll go week by week because I want to make sure that I'm teaching to you. Especially since you're home, I want to make sure that I am teaching so that you aren't falling behind. And if everybody has a big issue with a lesson, then I'm not going to move forward. We're going to do it again. So this is really customized instruction right now and personalized learning. Even though I'm not with you, you'll still get to hear me and maybe my silly jokes, and maybe I'll sing you a song. I mean, the possibilities are actually very endless. So let's start. All right, we've got a circle. It's on a coordinate plane. So we are going to write equations of circles and use them to solve problems. Okay? So the first, day one, this is a 2-day lesson. Monday, today, we're just going to learn how to write the equation and how to, if we're given information about a circle, how to know what the equation would look like based on the information we're given. So here's what we got. Definitions. A circle. A circle is the set of all points in a plane that are the same distance from a fixed point. Obviously, on the edge of a circle, every point on my circle is the same distance away from my center, right? The fixed point is called my center. So here we go. I'm going to first point out that right here is my center. Right? Okay, so that's easy. And then, let me adjust this so it's a little more upright. I think that's better. Okay. Then I've got all the way across my circle. Hopefully you remember that. Diameter. Right? Then just halfway across from my center to the edge. And my radius is here. My radius could be this line. My radius could be this line. My radius could be this line. Radiuses are, well, in a circle, I could make 360 of them if I did one on every degree. But, so, how can you find the length of the radius of a circle? Okay, well, if I want to know how far it is from this point to my center, then I would have to know how far the distance. So I'm going to use the distance formula. And recall from last week. Here we go. Ready? The x values subtracted, squared, added to the y values subtracted, squared. So here we go. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Then you find the square root of that. So that's the distance formula. So those are the things that you need to know right now in order for us to be successful. So here we are. I've got this equation. Now, this equation of a circle is something that you need to know. You need to just remember it, guys. There's no doubt about it. You're familiar with x minus h and y minus k because that's something that we did last year in Algebra 1 with graphing. So now we've got it in a circle because an h and a k are the numbers that are my center of my circle, h and k, right? Then let's focus in on what we're doing so that okay. Then my r stands for the radius of my circle, right? Okay, so that's good. So now let's say that I've got this example here. Now I want you to notice how my h in my equation is always the opposite sign. Remember, that's like the zero product property. If I told you guys x minus 4, wouldn't the value be 4? So it's always the opposite sign, right? Remember that. It's always the opposite sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now look at this example that I've got. I have my h comma k. And remember, that's my center. My center is h comma k. So I'm going to then say that if it's the opposite sign, then that means that I'm going to have this be a h k, right? My h is not going to be -3, it's going to be +3, and my k is going to be -2. Now, in the formula, it says r squared. So 4 is r squared. Well, if r squared equals 4, what does that mean r is? R is going to be 2, right? So I've got a radius of 2, and my center of my circle is at 3, -2. All right, so let's start and let's go to example number 1. Remember, here's my h, here's my k. The radius is 7. So it's not in the formula. R squared up here equals 4. But now I'm told that just r is 7. So I'm going to have to do my formula. H and k are going to be the 4 and the 0. So here we go. X minus, and what's h? -4. Okay, I'm doing it in purple just to keep it, right, easy for you. Plus y minus k, well, k is 0, right, equals 7 squared. So now, let's just simplify it out. X what? X plus 4 squared plus, well, what's y minus 0, guys? I don't even need to put the 0. I'm just going to do y squared, right? 0 squared is nothing. Equals 7 squared. Radius squared, 7 squared, 49. So this is now the formula for my equation of the circle given if my center is at -4, 0, and my radius is 7. This is the formula that I would write out for my equation. Now, again, we're not going to be doing graphing today. We're just talking about given pieces of information. So now let's go to number 2. My center is at -3, 4. That's my h and my k. My diameter is 12. If my diameter is 12 and the diameter goes all the way across, highlighted, My radius is half of that, correct? Half of 12. Good. And I actually love it, you guys, if you're verbally saying things. So when I say, oh, if the diameter is 12, what would the radius be? I literally want you to say out loud, 6. And you may think that you're just talking to yourself, but we're learning, guys, and this is a new little challenge for all of us. But that's what you would be doing in class. You would be answering my question, right? So I want you to answer my question when you're sitting by yourself, okay? Don't be embarrassed that you don't look cool, because every day I look like a giant dork in front of you, and I love it. So don't worry, nobody's watching. All right, remember, let's write it. Well, it's just right up here, okay? So here's the formula up here. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Here we go. X minus h. Make sure I write the right number. Plus y minus k. K is a positive, so I just get to write the 4. I don't have to change it to any other sign, right? Equals radius squared. True? Good. X plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals 36. This is the formula for my circle if I am given the information that my center is here and my diameter is 12. You know what we haven't talked about? What if my center is at the origin? So what if my center is 0, 0? So that would just be this. X squared plus y squared. And let's say, I don't know, my radius is 5 equals 5 squared. So this is the formula for a circle if my center was at 0, 0. So I think it's important that we talk about what 0, 0 looks like, as well as given any other points that I might have. Okay? Again, if you need to pause and review something, please do. All right, let's go on to number 3 and 4. And once we're done with number 3 and 4, we're done with the lesson. So here we go. Number 3. All right, on number 3, my center is what? This is quadrant 2. So I'm going to go -2, comma. Now my radius. It's really nice that my radius is easy because I can actually say, oh, it's 2. So this is a really nice one. This is actually pretty wonderful. Here's my H, here's my K. Label everything just like I'm labeling it. Ready? Here we go. Formula. X minus H squared plus y minus K squared equals R squared. So X minus H squared plus y minus K. Yeah. Sometimes your brain just writes exactly what your hand writes exactly what your brain says. All right, here we go. Y minus 3 purple squared equals radius squared 2 squared. Okay, good. By the way, did I wish you guys a happy Halloween? Happy Halloween. Cute pencil. And here we go. X plus 2 squared plus same y minus 3 squared equals 4. And I don't need to FOIL it. I'm not going to work it out. I'm going to leave it in this format because this format is the format of the standard form of equation of a circle. So I am done with that. Number 4. All right. Well, here's the deal. Number 4, closely. Maybe I can zoom. Hold on a second. I think. Nice. Fancy schmancy technology. Here we go. Right now, I don't have like a perfect way to figure out the radius because when I look at the radius, it's at a tilt. So I need to do the distance formula. Even if I go to the side, that's in the middle of two boxes. I don't know what that point is exactly. So the first thing we need to know is what's the center at. My center is there. It's point A, -1, comma 2. And remember HK. Wow, zoomed in too much. Why don't you guys tell me you couldn't see it? Ha ha ha, just kidding. Normally you do. All these things that I used to do. My radius. Well, sadly, is going to be the distance between the center and another point. Okay, well, that other point, they give us point P. Thank you. Center, -1, comma 2. That was point A. Point P, they give us 1, comma 5. In order for me to figure out the radius, I need to do the distance formula between these two things. Okay? So here we go. Distance formula, my radius is going to be up here at the top. Remember this? Reference this up on top. Here we go. Number 4, the distance formula. All right. Square root of negative, well, let's do y2 minus y1. I was being consistent with that. Let's not change it up now. Okay. If this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Remember all that? Okay, here we go. x1 minus y1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Yeah? 1 plus 1 plus 3 squared, right? Okay, all is good? All right, almost done, guys. Once I know the radius, I'm going to be able to write the equation. So 2 squared plus 3 squared. Okay, not to worry. I want it to stay as a square root, guys. Don't make it a decimal. We're not using any calculators at this time. So here I go. My formula is, let's go sideways. X minus h, x minus -1, plus y minus 2 equals radical 13 squared. So x plus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared. Okay, the square root of 13 squared. Remember how the square and the square root cancel? They're opposite operations, which means that I'm just going to have a 13 as my r squared. And there's the formula for number 4. Let me zoom it out a little bit so you can kind of just look at it again. All right, so on Pearson, I've assigned the homework, and that is going to be due by 8 p.m., and it's Monday, the 30th of March. So it's going to be due by Monday, the 30th. I want to let you know that here's my plan for the week, and you can see it on the calendar on Google Classroom. I've got Pearson homework tonight, Monday, Pearson homework Tuesday night. Wednesday and Thursday we'll learn about parabolas, and then Friday is going to be review day. And I actually am going to give you an assignment to just assess you to see if you grasped the equations that you need to know for circle and parabola. So we'll talk more about that later in the week. But sign into my Zoom sessions, you guys, because if you're struggling, that's the time where you can get the one-on-one help, okay? I will see you again very soon. Have a wonderful rest of the day, guys. And this was 9.3A, day one, Monday, March 30th.